So let's next apply that 4 inches to our sleeve block that has no elbow dart here. Measuring up 4 inches, draw a line horizontally across, and this will be the line that we cut, and then we'll slash and spread this cuff piece, and we'll slash and spread the upper sleeve the same amount in order to create that flared shape. Once you have the 4 inches or horizontal line marked, then what we need to do is make marks from the wrist up to the arm's eye, divide it into 8 pieces, and along these lines, this is where we will cut and slash rather in order to spread. I've measured across here at the bicep, and it almost divides evenly. The 2 pieces here are ever so slightly a little bit larger. That's just fine, and a little bit bigger here. You know, things don't always divide perfectly, so that's just fine. So here we have the sleeve sloper. I've cut the cuff section away from the upper sleeve, and you can see now I've cut along those slash marks, and next what we'll do is slash and spread the upper section and the lower section. We'll be doing that equally. Whatever I slash and spread on this line, we'll slash and spread the cuff the same amount, because this is that seam that needs to be stitched together in a later step in order to create that lantern shape. So on my client, I measured around their arm so that I could know how big the circumference is that we want to spread this to, and we want to aim for about 25 inches. And we want it spread a little bit more at the back so that we have that nice flare toward the back. And so we'll just start pivoting from the top here. We have cut up these lines, leaving just a scant 1/8 of an inch here as a hinge. You can see that brown paper hinges here, and we can then spread this a little bit more in the back and then less in the front in order to achieve approximately 25. This is now 26 inches. That's fine. We can just back off on that spreading a little bit, and that will be great. You want to push pin those down, starting at the center, starting at the top, and then push pinning the bottom. Spreading, push pinning the top, then the bottom. You want to make sure that this doesn't buckle up and distort the shape of the sleeve. You want to make sure this stays flat. So this is how you slash and spread to achieve the extra width of this particular sleeve, and then we'll mark the extra length. So now that we've created this shape, let's slash and spread and create the cuff shape. And here again, we're wanting this outside circumference. This is the wrist, this is the top of that cuff section, and we want that to be the same circumference as the bottom of the upper sleeve, because those will need to be stitched together. And this is, I've measured it. Another thing to be careful of here is these slashing and spread, these hinges create little corners. You'll need to round that off so that we have a long, smooth, continuous, curved line. You'll notice that it's spread a little differently on this side than on that, and that is because we are spreading a little more in the back so that we create that grace, a little more fullness in the back. You'll want to connect these in a nice circle. Again, a long, smooth, connected line, blended beautifully, just like this is. Now that we've trued this blended line, I've also cut out the cuff, leaving the brown paper taped to the white just for teaching illustration purposes. And now it's time to true this seam to that one. And so anytime you're truing, you want to pin down one piece, and then I call it walking the seams, making sure that this seam is the same length as the other seam. And walk it a second time, marking notches so that your stitcher has a chance to get this stitched together. So for example, keying off of the back where we've added this extra length, you might add notches there, and at the shoulder and at the front, so that the bottom of the lantern can get stitched beautifully to the top of the lantern.